All right, today we have another successful day in investing. Today, as a whole, we made on a day when the stock market went down. Let's see, how many points did it go down today? Stock market went down almost 600 points. We made a profit of $838.64, which is an 11% gain from today. I just want to walk through a couple things that I was going over today just to kind of see where you guys can see where my mindset is, and we'll talk about a couple trends that I noticed. So, well, actually, we'll just start with the trends first. So there's two areas that we looked at as far as sectors for the stocks that we looked at. One is consumer products. So what I did is I took this is on Robinhood. I took all of that segment and then sorted it by biggest gainers. And you'll see Century Casinos, which is one of the stocks that I'm following. Red Robin, which is one of the stocks that I have gains in, and Eldorado Resorts, one of the stocks that I have gains in. Golden Entertainment we're following. Norwegian we have shares in. I mean, overall, we're showing up pretty well as far as just today's gainers. But the real one we're looking at here as far as the segment is entertainment. And so what I was looking at here, let's go back to the negative one shortly. All right, so the ones that have the biggest gains today, Century Casino is number one, and we're following it. Dave & Buster's, Eldorado Resorts, Every, which we have shares in, Royal Caribbean, which we are following. Live Nation we're following, Golden Entertainment we're following, Ryman Hospitality we're following, etc. So the ones that had real good days today we're also following, but this is the one we want to pay attention to and take a look at where the biggest losers were. So right now, there's one we're following, Allied Esports Entertainment. They do e-gaming, and I just kicked my power supply over by my feet. But beyond that, there's really nothing on here that jumped out, and that's kind of a little bit what we're going to talk about today. So overall today, we're looking at the stocks that we're looking at. We kind of want to go through every day and see where they are as far as a percentage. I don't have their stock price as far as their movement noted because it doesn't really give me a good sense on what I'm looking at. So overall, everything in green is a gain, everything in red is a loss. And so we scroll down here and we have Red Robin is up 37% today. Dave & Buster's is up 39%, which is really, really good. Every, which is up 26%, and ERI is up 26% as well. Now, to be perfectly honest, we're still majorly in the trough when it comes to this investing. So I really don't care how much they're going up. I mean, it really doesn't matter because they're going to go way higher up than what they're doing right now. But I want to show you some things that I looked at today. So I made a couple moves today. Number one, I used to have a position, and I'm going to close these out. I used to have a position for a limit order with Red Rock Resorts. And there's a casino in Las Vegas. And I've actually stayed there. It's actually an awesome resort, had the best king bed, California king I've ever slept in. And I was looking at this, and they're down 68% over 3 months. They are down 71% over, let's turn off my mail notifications. 71% of the last month, which is, I mean, we're right at about where we are for a month that this mess has been going on. So you're probably sitting here saying, well, why would he possibly cancel that limit order? And then I found one today that I was just patrolling the biggest losers today and going over our formula and kind of how we look at this today. And I came up with one. Where is this guy? Where did this go? Let's reload this. Maybe it's not on there. Waiting for this to load up. Oh, those are the ones that we have actual shares in. So we looked at Just comparing the web version of this to the mobile version, because the mobile version actually lists the limit orders up top. All right, TH. So what we're going to do is, that's why we're on the bottom. All right. So I went in and I actually added some different stocks. We'll come back to that. But I put a limit order in on this guy today. Yeah, Target Hospitality. So I was looking at this. This is a company that does rental combinations for catering and hospitality service, and it does it in the Permian Basin. So I was reading it over and I realized these are the people that do temporary housing and food service for people who are drilling oil in Texas. That's basically what they do. So the bigger the oil industry is, the bigger this company is going to do it. And we have a president that loves drilling oil. So I looked at this and I wanted to take a look and see what we did. 3 months, for the last 3 months, it's been pretty dead even. For the last year, it's gone down, but not a ton. It's ranged, I don't know, from 10 to 5, but that usually has to do with, I don't know, probably the cost of oil, who knows. But anyway, it's been pretty dead even. And then on February 20th was when everything started to go south. It was basically at $5. And we're sitting here at $1.36. So I realized this is, we're down 72% over 3 months, 71% overall, but I'm getting this sucker at $1.36 a share. So it's very similar to the one we did at Red Robin, or Red Rock Resort. Sorry, there's a lot of red. But this one is $7.54 per share, which means I can get more shares. So I basically just switched that out. Beyond that today, I'll show you a couple of ones that we had looked at. So I believe it's going to be these four that we had looked at today. And again, the formula that we kind of look at is we want a company that has a large capitalization. And basically what that means, let's close this out. All right. Reopen this guy up. A large capitalization, so it's a big company. You want to make sure that it can survive a little bit. You want to make sure it's in an industry that's going to be there, and then you want to see how long the company's been in existence. And ideally, we want to buy as many shares as we want. We don't want to buy something at $200 a share if we have a similar company that's offering something at $10 a share. All right, so with that being said, let's close Red Rock and Target out. And we'll look at Noble Midstream Partners. This basically take a look and see what this company did. So they're involved in crude oil, natural gas, and producing water. So they just drill anything pretty much that comes out of the ground. Their headquarters are in Houston, so that makes sense if you're doing oil. Market cap is about $1/3 trillion, but considering all this went on, it was probably $1 billion before. It has 240 employees, which is important to know, and it's been around for about 6 years. So looked at the analyst ratings. They have it at a hold, but nobody's buying or selling, which is really odd. You don't necessarily see that a whole lot. So let's look at the last year. And it's been roughly the same for about the year. There's no big trend line there. And then February 20th, it was about $20 a share, and it's at $2.93. So it's almost a tenfold increase. I am highly, highly, highly likely to put a limit order on this guy. In fact, I don't necessarily know why I didn't. But 100% of the people saying hold kind of got my attention. So I'm going to keep an eye on this every day going forward, but don't be surprised if you see me make a purchase on this. All right, R.R. Donnelley. I swear I've heard of this company before, and I went in and they basically do a whole bunch of marketing materials and things like that, and it still doesn't ring a bell. I just know I know the name from somewhere. Has 36,000 employees, a market cap of 71 million, which is probably around $250 million before all this stuff happened. And it's founded in 1864. So it's 1864 because everybody in the 1800s, their name was their first and middle initial. So take a look year over year. Again, this company's been around a while, but that doesn't always mean anything. And it's been up and down, but the trend line is relatively stable. Let's go to the last 3 months. We'll go to February 20th. And it was sitting, and that was the day where everything changed. Sitting at 264. It's now sitting at 83 cents. So we're looking at about a 4 to 5 fold decrease. Keeping an eye on it, but we'll see. It has to jump something. It has to really jump off the page. But right now, it's sitting for the last 3 months. It's lost 80% of its value. And the last month, it's at 65. So it's the losses are starting to pair off. So we're going to keep an eye on this guy for sure, because we can get a ton of shares on this if we decide to make a move on it. All right, and then this one kind of scares the crap out of me, if you want to be honest. This one is basically a REIT, a real estate investment trust, which is basically a way for you to get fractional ownership in a bunch of mortgages. So this scares me because they're monthly payments on mortgages, but they're leveraged 2 times. And to be fair, I don't know what that means. It just sounds really scary. But they're mortgages that I guess were probably taken out in 2012 because they're due in 2042. So basically, if you took a mortgage out in October or around then, 2012, they're basically getting a cut of all the mortgage payments that are in here. But that 2 times leverage scares the crap out of me. But that being said, take a look at the company. We'll take a look at it, where they have a $154 million market cap. But again, that means nothing when it comes to REITs, because the REITs can go up or down. They're basically they're a non-physical way to invest in anything. They don't even list employees, I don't think, on here, because it's not a company. But over the last year, it's been dead even. Basically, people are paying their mortgages. It's not a really volatile thing. And over the last 3 months, very, very non-volatile. But on February 20th, it was worth $15.71 a share, and it's now worth 30 cents. So you can make 45 times your investment. And basically, the way I look at this is that if we don't hit the worst part of this, if this crisis doesn't go crazy and everybody loses their house, and you invest money at like 30 or even 50 cents, you're going to make an absolute stinking killing. So this one scares the crap out of me, but it's tempting the heck out of me, because if I just let's say buy 500 bucks of this, I'm going to get 1,500 shares. And if it goes back, I'm going to get 15 times 15, which is what, $22,000 off of this. So yeah, this is on my watch list for sure. Don't be surprised if I just put a flyer out on this when my tax return comes in. But on the other hand, if everybody loses their house, this thing's going to zero and you're going to lose that $1,000. So it's almost like a 45 to 1 bet. And if all the other stocks are doing well, then they kind of cover this bet. So I have a feeling that I might be putting some money in here, but don't get me wrong, this is definitely volatile. I mean, it's down 97% over the last 3 months. So we'll see. Kind of scary, but it's almost too tempting not to. Not at least a little bit. The payoff's too high. All right, Two Harbors Investment. This company does another real estate investment trust, or REIT, which again scares the crap out of me. They do residential mortgage-backed securities, non-agency securities. I imagine that's FHA, mortgage servicing rights, and other financial assets. So again, they're putting together a real estate investment trust for people's individual mortgages. So it's the same thing as we had for the other one. Market cap, this one is $1.5 billion. So that makes me feel better. It's in New York. That makes me feel better. 2009, so they did it right after all the money got cleaned out in the middle of that recession. So it survived it, started in there, and is going strong. For the last year, it's been pretty even on a slightly upward trend. And for the last 3 months, it's been dead even. You go to February 20th, which was D-Day, and it was at about $15.75. And we're now sitting at $4.73. So I don't know, like 1 3.5. It's dropped, yeah, about by 2/3. So I could put money in here. But this is like the less volatile version of the one we just looked at, but it doesn't have anywhere near the payout. You know, the last 3 months it dropped 68, the other one dropped 97. So we have analysts telling us it's an 89% buy rate, which is really good. So yes, it's on my watch list, but we'll see what happens. And then the last one I just put on today was Signet Jewelers, and they do retailing of jewelry. What are the stores they run? They own Kay, Zales, Jared, Piercing Pagoda. So everywhere you go in a mall, it's a jewelry store. These are the people that own them. Let's take a look at the company. Market cap of 405 million. It's probably over $1 billion before then. 23,000 employees. Headquartered in Bermuda, of all places. Founded right after World War II. And a little bit of volatility, but not too much. It went down and then it went up, but it's on an upward trend. Doesn't always mean anything. It could mean you do for a downward trend. And they must have had something really good happen right here because they went from 21 to 30. But on D-Day, they were worth 28. Currently, they're worth 6. So we're getting a 4-to-1 profit on this if this comes back. So basically, it's based on malls and market and making sure the mall survives. So we'll see what happens. It's on a watch list, not high on my list, but we'll see where things go. But as of today, we're doing really well. We're up to about 8,600. We made about $840 today, which is 11%. Made some money after hours. And then the other thing that I haven't really covered with you guys is I want to get a sense on what tomorrow brings. And so one of the things that I generally look at is I look at the Financial Times Stock Exchange, which is the London Stock Exchange. And they open up 6 hours earlier or 5 hours earlier than the US. And so I'll look at two things generally to get a sense on what we're looking at for the next day. So one, you can go Dow Jones Futures. And this is basically people betting on what the Dow Jones value is going to be in the future. And I'll go to pre-market stock trading. And it looks like they're up $370 on futures. So they're betting that the market's going to go up. But we'll see. But that's the whole market. We are just looking at entertainment and consumer goods for the most part, because those are the ones most negatively affected by the panic that people are having. So with that being said, another good day, making a lot of money. And hopefully I'm giving you some ideas on your end. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow.